Hey, St. Mark's family, Pastor Paul here. I want to share with you today just a conversation that has begun at St. Mark's concerning the death of George Floyd, but more importantly, really how we respond as a congregation to racism in our church and in our society. And this week, I had the opportunity to sit down with the Moffat family, Tana and James Moffat, and just talk to them about these times that we're in, the racial tensions that we feel. And I want you to know that this is the beginning of a conversation that we need to have as a church and moving forward in really healing not only our own lives through the grace of Jesus Christ, but also our communities. So we decided this week to interview the Moffat family, and I hope to bring some other interviews to you just to share insight into some of the tensions that we're feeling right now and really how we respond by God's grace. And so I hope you enjoy this interview, that it just speaks to your heart. And I just want to say a special thanks to the Moffat family for meeting with me and having this discussion. God bless. I'm here with Tana and James Moffat, and just talking with them about some of the recent just things that have been going on in our society, especially when it comes to race. And my hope is just to listen and also to talk to some other folks. So I get to sit down with them, and they get to kind of be my guinea pigs here. And hopefully we can just have a conversation, because I think if there's anything that we need in our society right now, and especially as a church, is just to have some conversation. So thanks for being here, and I really appreciate it. So will you just tell us real quick, you have 4 kids. Will you tell us about your kids real quick?
We do have 4 kids. We have JD, who's 16, Gabby, who is 14, and then we have 2 twins, Josiah and Jeremiah.
11 years old.
And they're 11, yes.
Yeah.
All active, busy, beautiful. Keep us hopping.
Yes. Yeah. So let me ask you then, as a family, just where you're at right now with everything that happened in Minneapolis last week and what's going on in our country right now. How's that affecting your family?
I mean, it's affecting my family. I mean, in a different kind of way. It's like you said before, everybody have a different perspective of the way they think of things. And the way we think of it in the family, just talk to the kids, because I've been through whatever that happened in Minnesota. I mean, I've been through it before, but I just pray about it. My wife kind of like say, I'm not talking about, just a lot of stuff you don't talk about. You just kind of like wants to shut down and just pray about it.
I think in our family too, so we have his perspective, and then we have my perspective as the white person who's watching it. And then we have 4 brown people in our house who are young, coming from a different generation and watching it as well. And so James will probably tell you, yesterday we got into a very heated argument with all of our different perspectives coming together of how to handle this. So that's what's going on in our household as we watch it, because we and all 3 have, 3 different people and generations have different perspectives on what we're watching too, and how we're talking to each other. And again, you have to hear the other person's perspective. But even us in our household, we get to see different perspectives too.
Right.
So it's not just out in the community, it's even in our household alone.
Right. Do you mind sharing just what those different perspectives are? I mean, I'd love to hear a little bit of what your kids are thinking. And
I think she and the kids, I mean, I'll say they got a close perspective, the way they talk about it. And for me, I'm the guy who watch it, and I just told her, like, I just don't like, my perspective, I just don't like to talk about it, because I've been through just too much, and I've seen too much of stuff going on. And for me, every day I pray to God about what's tomorrow bring, versus I don't know how the other person pray, but I just go about my business and don't let it bother me.
Sure.
Whereas the kid's perspective is if you don't speak up, change isn't going to happen
Sure.
and you have to keep talking. And then my perspective is coming from, again, a white perspective, which is that if I'm watching it, I have to say something and I have to stop it. And so, again, his, which is to be silent and pray. And then we have our perspectives, which is say something, do something, be more active. And so we have those two perspectives kind of clashing in our household at times.
Sure. Sure. You know, when it comes to racism, and I'd share a little bit at the beginning of the message this upcoming Sunday. You know, obviously we have issues, major issues with that in America. How do you guys deal with that as a family?
I mean, I talked about it with a few friends and all that stuff, and they have a different perspective on the way I think about it. I mean, the way that I think about it is with what happened to George Floyd was, I mean, it just, I didn't see people see it as the black and white, and the way I see it as we are human beings. You know what I'm saying? It's the way
Yeah.
we treat one another and the way we go about our business.
Yeah.
That's how God look at it. That's not how, everybody look at it like, oh, George Floyd was treated because, I mean, I understand. It's this whole black thing been going on for like before I was even born. So it's just the way that other people treat it. I just treat it as, you know what I'm saying, we got creation, and we shouldn't be treating one another like that and playing the card.
Sure. Right.
So
Well said.
what I think you're saying is perspectives, right? You're looking at other people's perspectives and listening to other people's perspectives. And again, I think as a person from the outside looking in, if you know one black person, you know one black person, you know one black person's perspective. So again, if I know my husband, I know one black person's perspective. He who's talking to another black person on his mowing team, that's another black person's perspective. So again, if you know one black person, you know one black person's perspective. You can't apply that to everybody. So again, you need to seek to understand. So I think that's what we've been talking about a lot. Seek to understand all the perspectives that are out there. So we've been doing at my house earlier, I was playing a book that I'm listening to called Biased and just trying to hear other perspectives that are out there and again, seek to understand all the different perspectives that are out there for us to hear and see and explore. And
Yeah, that kind of leads me into my next question, which was going to be any advice that you give to our congregation when dealing with what's going on right now. So perspective is obviously one.
yes,
Any other advice that you would?
I say my advice to our congregation is it's looking at the image of God. We all should look at it as the image of God. It has nothing to do with where we're going, what's going on, whether I'm black, I'm white, yellow. I think we should all see ourselves as the image of God.
That's great. Tana, anything that you thought of?
I probably would have hit on that perspective thing as well. And again, my perspective is from the outside looking in. And so my viewpoint is coming skewed of how people are treated, white and my own biases and stuff. But again, looking internally at yourself and what you need to change to be able to see all of God's creations in the image of God. Because again, if you don't see your own biases, you can't see them the way James is saying for you to see them.
Yeah, that is central, and which kind of is again you're leading me into these questions that I have for you. And the last question is, how does the life and ministry of Jesus impact your understanding of racial differences?
Jesus Christ came to pay the way for each and every one of us. And that's what I was telling my wife before. I said, if you look in the Bible, there's not one thing in the Bible that say, I created black and white. God said, I've created you in my own image and likeness.
Yeah.
So he have not pointed anything in that Bible that's saying black or white. And Jesus Christ came to die for the people. He didn't come to die for black or white.
Yeah.
So,
And if you really think about it, he came at that time from an unprivileged race.
Yes, and at the time it was Jews versus Gentile versus, but he's died for everybody. He paid the price for everybody, and I think that's the way we should look at it. It's like Jesus never did choose what he was coming to die for, or what was his purpose, or what the Bible purpose is. Only black people should have black Bible, and white people should have white Bible, and that's not what Jesus was about.
Well, that's great. I really appreciate y'all meeting with me and just having a conversation. I think this is going to be very helpful for a lot of people. And thanks for raising a beautiful family. I think I've only seen pictures of your kids. I haven't had a chance to meet them quite yet.
I think you taught Gabby in confirmation. She'll be confirmed this Saturday. So
Okay, so
Yes.
I'll see her there. Okay,
Yes.
all right, perfect.
Try to see everybody.
That'll be great. That'll be great. Well, thanks again for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank
Yes,
you
you are
for
welcome.
having us.